Welcome back. You're watching 101. We're talking with hip-hop and rap star and mega producer Wyclef Jean.
Yeah.
We talked about all that tough stuff you went through as a child, but the defining moment, I guess one of the defining moments for you was when you got together with a couple of your friends, Praz and Lauren Hill, formed the Translator crew, which later became the Fugees, and of course, massive success. When you first started out together, did you really know, did you have a plan? Was there a plan of action, or did the success just happen by accident?
Well, the plan of action, see, Fugees was short for refugees. And we said that we're going to get together, make some music in the basement, and then we're going to put it on the radio and make people respect refugees. We're going to take something that's negative and make something positive out of it. That was the initial plan. It was no thoughts of this group would be the biggest selling group of hip hop, nothing like that. To the point where we didn't have no studio. Like, we bought a bunch of equipment and we basically raided my uncle's basement, and that's where that whole album was put together.
Of course, from that tough time when you're in the projects in Brooklyn to this fantastic success you have now, it's a huge turnaround. Do you remember that very first check, the first big check, and what you did with it?
Yeah, I remember the first. The first big check was $1.7 million. And the first big check went to my mother and my father, and they went and I bought them a house in South Orange, New Jersey, you know. And at the time, my girl thought I was crazy. She was like, I was there with you in the beginning, and you're going to take this check and you're going to go by your father. I said, be quiet, woman. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be here. Wait your turn.
Now, apart from the first check we were talking about and the success, the sense of success that came with that, at what point did you really feel you were in control over your destiny, what you were doing? I mean, you could do the music you wanted to, you didn't have pressure from labels and so on. At what point, or has that not arrived?
I think, you know, you have to prove yourself a couple of times. First, you have to prove yourself with a group, which I did. Then you have to prove yourself solo, which I did. Then you have to prove yourself that you can actually produce other people that's besides yourself or your group. And once you start doing that, so I think, you know, you do start Carlos Santana, you have the lead track on there, he sells millions. You do Whitney Houston, I Broke Destiny Child, the list goes on and on. So then now you can write, you know, your own destiny and basically your own check.
Now, I've got to touch on one other event that not so good, I guess, in your life. During the 1999 Woodstock tribute concert, you know, based on this, you decided to pay a tribute to Jimi Hendrix and burn your guitar on stage. Have the fingers healed?
Yo, man. I go ahead, you know what I mean, and, you know, it's Woodstock, and I'm like, yo, listen, man, we're gonna do this Jimi Hendrix thing. So I'm telling my man, right, I'm like, yo, bring the gasoline on at a certain time. You're going to drop the gasoline on the guitar after I do the Star Spangled Banner. Then I'm going to drop it. Then I'm going to start playing, you know, and the guitar's going to be on fire. So he's like, yo, I got you, man, no problem, right? So now the routines start, and he come out. And the crowd is going crazy. Like, they're screaming, they're going wild, you know what I mean? And he's in awe with the crowd. Like, he's not, you know, the crowd is screaming for me, but he forgets that he becomes me. So he turns to the crowd, he's like, ah, and he has this gasoline thing, you know what I mean? Then he turns as I'm lighting the match, and he throws the gasoline in my hand. And now, my pride won't let me just stop. You know what I'm saying? Now my hands is burning, and I'm like, you know? And then once I'm finished now, you know, I get off stage. Now my hand is burning like cartoon. Then I got to get rushed straight to the hospital. And then, you know, they put a big band around my hand.
Now, at the beginning, I said, you know, you're described as a renegade as well as a musician and so on, but you're also an activist. And in that respect, you've been very good for Haiti in terms of trying to promote it as a place and so on. Tell me how you got involved in that in the first place. You became an ambassador in January 2007 for Haiti to improve its image. What have you been able to do?
I mean, what I've been able to do is just basically, through television in the United States and through awareness and through different charity organizations and my presence, being very vocal about the country and the fact that we need change. And I think that's a start, lobbying outside of Haiti.
In terms of response, do you find people are latching on? Because, I mean, Haiti is a place that makes it into the news every now and then when there's something bad happening, I guess. And
I mean, yeah, when something bad happens, and I think they need to put when something good happens too. And I think the security is getting better. That's a good thing, And I think donors that promise billions of dollars to Haiti, I think this is a great time to put that money into the country because we can see change.
tell me about the Yele Haiti Foundation you set up.
Yele Haiti Foundation is a foundation where I set up to raise the self-esteem of kids. 65% of the population is under 21. So that's what our main focus is. We give scholarships to kids. We have hip-hop programs where kids use hip-hop and rap as a vehicle of positive in cleaning up the neighborhoods. We also have programs with soccer. And we have programs for like the older people, like the Yele cuisines, where remember I told you Yele Haiti is not about gimme, gimme, gimme. It's about teaching people how to fish. So you have the women in the village that are cooking the food, that are selling the food for a reasonable price.
It's interesting you say using rap is in a positive way. And of course, in the US, there's a huge debate about the negative side of rap, the gangster culture, the swearing, the use of racism, sort of racial slurs and so on. How do you stand on that?
I mean, the way I stand on that is that if you want the slurs to change and you want the gang talk to change and you want the certain words to change, then you, as the government, must put aid in these neighborhoods. Because if you can start making a change in these neighborhoods, then the kids would change. But these kids are coming from these neighborhoods. And what they are spitting out of their mouths is the reflection of their upbringing.
Let me ask you about the other issues. Are there any other social issues you'd like to tackle, apart from Haiti and some of the other stuff you've been doing? What sort of burns inside you to try and fix it?
Immigration, of course, that's one thing that definitely, but I feel everybody should be treated equal. And I'm really, I really get upset when I'm watching the news and I see racial profile, you know what I'm saying? Because we look a certain way or we talk a certain way. They go, yeah, it's you did it, you know what I mean? Without taking us, it's like you're guilty by profile alone, you know what I'm saying? And that's wrong.
With all this activism and, of course, your actual work, your profession, so to speak, do you ever get time for yourself to do the things you want to do? Your own hobbies?
I mean, the good thing about now is like I have to make time because I got my daughter, she's 2 years old, and she forces me to make time. Like it's something about her. Daddy, where you at?
Takes after your mum.
Yeah. Where you at? What's going on? And you know what? It's very important now inside of my busy schedules with Sony and Columbia. I always say, no, put Thanksgiving away, put this date away, that day. You have to do that. Because if you don't do that, you'll just work, and don't enjoy life.
Well, Wyclef, as we end the show, can I ask you to pick up your guitar and give us a little strum of something?
Yes. My hand is not burnt no more.
I promise no gasoline or matches.
No gasoline, man. Old pirates, yes, they rabbi. So like to the merchant ships. Whoa, minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong. By the end of the Almighty, we struggle in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help me sing, yeah, these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I've ever had, redemption song.
Wyclef, thank you very much.
All right, cool, thanks.